She will be sharing us about the history of teachers training in ORC. And we are very, very glad that you are here. According to drama, she was not supposed to be here in the training program, but drama brought us here, or here. Baba brought us her here. So welcome, Kiran. Thank you so much. And Vijay, thank you for that wonderful chart list. I was looking back over I've been in Gyan for 46 years, and I've been surrendered for 39 years, and been teaching probably for 44 years. And I was checking my list because yesterday, I think in Murli Baba talked about the tribunal. And I was thinking, I wonder if this list is going to come up for those of us who are teachers. And we're fulfilling all of those things. It's a very great honor and privilege to be someone who can convey Baba's Gyan to other souls and inspire them to be on this path. So, how it started for me was back in 1981 or 2. I was living in San Francisco, and at that time, Sister Denise and Sister Chandru from were there. You know Sister Denise Lawrence? You're familiar with her? And Sister Chandru is no longer with us, but she was there at that time. She was my Didi at that time. So Didi Nirmal Shanta was coming to San Francisco, and the center was a flat, an apartment flat. And the sisters had the top floor, then there was a floor with brothers, and then there was a garage. And we could not afford a hall for Dadi's program. This is a little side story. So Sister Denise and Sister Chandra converted the garage into a garageatorium. They hung all the walls with white curtains, and they rented some chairs. And the door went up, and we had this program in this garage going out to the street. Those were the days when we did all kinds of crazy things that nobody would ever do today. We were intoxicated with Baba Seva. So when Dadi Nirmal Shanta was there, you all know who is Dadi Nirmal Shanta, right? Baba's daughter. So I asked her the question, Dadi, what should I do for my fast progress? And she said, teach. So at that time, we didn't have any teaching training materials at all. What we did have was a little set of correspondence course books that had been written mostly by Genti Didi, I think. And so I would take each one of those little books and I'd study the lesson, and then I'd try to explain what was in it to the students. And that was how we started in San Francisco, at least, learning how to teach. There was a book by Brother Jagdish called The 1 Week Course. Some of you might be familiar with that. But it's done in a style that isn't really adapted to the West. So it's a lot of bhakti explanations of things. So we had to rely on those little correspondence course books. Anyway, eventually I started compiling information. I'm a compiler of information. And I started getting notes from here and there, and there was Brother Ken, there was Brother Charlie, there was Sister Denise, and they were giving classes, and I started compiling information that could be used in teaching. And I was doing it for my own self. Never occurred to me that Baba would use it in any other way. So during that time, other people came and took the course and became teachers. But in 1993, I was given the opportunity to go to Canada and serve there in Vancouver. So I was there for 8 years, and during that time, I really needed to have something more formal for teaching the students how to teach, because we had a fairly big family in Vancouver. And so we started using, do you remember overhead projectors, right? Where you wrote on the glass, on plastic sheets, and it projected it on the wall. So I started having the students gather and answer questions, like, okay, we have to convey information about the soul. What are the main points about the soul? So we wrote them down. What are the main questions that people will ask, and how to answer those questions? And that became the first kind of actual book of training materials, those overhead projector notes. And then time went on, somebody sent me a CD from Sister Becky of the Philippines, which had a lot of course information on it. Brother Anthony Strano, some of you may know him. He was giving classes in Madhavan on how to teach Course with Force. And so all of this, I was compiling it. And eventually I had this binder, which I think was 360 some double-sided pages. And so then I started doing the trainings. I think I did first in San Francisco and then eventually Toronto. And everybody would get one of these binders. Weighed about 7 pounds and 3 kilos. And that's what became the basis of the course. So that went on for a long time, and then it was 2014, we started doing trainings here in the ORC. Mary Jean joined me around that time, and we first went to Guyana and did a training in Guyana. And then we came to ORC, and it's been kind of going on ever since in ORC since then. And Margaret got involved shortly after that, I think maybe in 2016 or something. She joined the team, and she brought a whole nother dimension of experiential learning into the course. And so she would do these wonderful delivery sessions, and I would do the didactic sessions, and it was a good blend. And Mary Jean would always do the practicums. That went on for several years. And in the meantime, the London course and the course that had come through me were being edited and refined and brought up to the educational standards of the day. One of the things that we saw was that people who weren't trained in any way to teach were just kind of doing it however, ad lib, right? And so there were all kinds of different ways people were giving the course. Some were using PowerPoint, some weren't. Some would just stand up and lecture for an hour and never let the students even ask a question. It was, so many different styles. So we wanted to have a standardized way of going through the course systematically and clearly, and know what kind of questions we want to be able to answer them and so forth. So all of that is now built into the training. And you have a really wonderful team here to deliver it for you. Even though Sister Margaret couldn't be here, Sister Ella has the skills that she was bringing to the team, so you'll get those wonderful delivery sessions. And Reka and Dipti are both experienced teachers in the UK themselves, and they've been training here for a couple of years, 2 years now, right? So I've witnessed some of their sessions, and they're very excellent as well. And Mary Jean, of course, has been with it through thick and thin. She's the glue probably holding it all together at this point. So I think you're in for a very big treat, and I hope you'll take full benefit from it. I would like to say that I know that many of you have come here from Madhavan and you've taken maybe extra time off of your work, and sometimes there's a bit of a complaint in some countries that why does it have to be a whole week? Why do you have to spend so much of time, you know? But this is the basic foundation knowledge that Baba has given humanity. And we are the instruments to be able to help Baba unlock the intellects of his children around the world, and even those who are not Baba's direct children get lots of benefit, even though our aim is not so much to create BKs. Our aim is just to uplift souls and open their intellects to spiritual reality. And this is what has caused the profile or the reputation of the BKs to go so high. Is not that we're converting people, but that we're supporting people and elevating their consciousness. So this is not a small thing that you're spending this amount of time. Think of it as an investment that you're making not only in yourself, but in the yajna and in Baba Seva. And obviously you're called to come here by Baba. So he has put that trust in you that you can be those instruments. And you can be those souls that are going to do his work in this world to make a change and bring about Satyuj by changing human consciousness. So it's a very big honor and privilege. It's a very big opportunity. You're very blessed. And to be in this facility at ORC is just an amazing gift that Baba has given to the yajna and to the world. So, well, Shanti, congratulations, best of luck and best wishes.
Thank you.
So we're going to inaugurate this